Hello, wrestling fans. I'm JaySin back again with the True Horror King Gary. This is a not so special Thanksgiving episode, but we all hope you had a great one. Let's just say the Thanksgiving special is in name only because we're only going to spend about 5 minutes. Gary has a nice little list of things he's thankful for when it comes to Impact, and I'll jump in, of course. We got a lot going on here. A great fan named Cameron sent us a report from Overdrive, and we have spoilers for the Kentucky Chaos show, which is the name of the upcoming tapings. But we'll get to the spoilers at the end. So if anybody wants those, fast forward to the end. And if you don't want those, we'll mention those before we get to them. Now, I want to mention my Facebook fast before we get to Gary because it's going to kind of converge with the podcast in a way. And an example is today is the anniversary of Davey Boy Smith's birthday. Davey Boy was an amazing wrestler, one half of who was it? Davey Boy and the Dynamite Kid. And what was the name of that dog, Gary? Do you know it? Putting you on the spot here.
Um, yeah. I would know it ordinarily, but you kind of caught me here with my pants
Ma-
down. If you will.
Matilda.
Okay, yeah, Matilda. Yeah, I do remember that name quite it's up there. Let's put it that way. I remember her coming to the ringside many a times with the Bulldogs. Uh, but let's get started on like what he did for wrestling. Early in his career, he wrestled for ITV's World of Sport. He was there from like 78 to 84. And then that's when he first appeared in the WWF. I guess that's when he became part of the. I don't know if he was quite part of the British Bulldogs at that point, or if he was just a singles wrestler. Um, Says he's wrestled for Stampede and All Japan Wrestling for a couple of years, and that leads us all the way like later on in his career in the WWE, where he had faced his brother-in-law, right? Bret Hart.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wembley Stadium.
Yeah, we talked about this earlier. One of the greatest matches. Well, definitely his greatest match. Check that out. An incredible atmosphere at Wembley Stadium. I think he might have been the face there, kind of. And I think it was the main event, and it was for the Intercontinental title, which was kind of crazy if you think about it, that they can have like a main event show for that. But whatever. I know a lot of people don't like, WWE and stuff like that. But we're going to have a little legend section quickly on in our show, or at least, at times. Also, so I have this new Facebook group. It's called JaySin's Group of Awesomeness, which is going to need a new name because it was kind of a joke name because I didn't think there'd be more than like 10 people. But I'm getting close to 100 quickly, and it's just like news and, mostly just hot pictures of wrestlers, to be honest. So that leads to our next segment, which is Knockout of the Week, which is going to be a new thing where we just mention any woman in the world as our Knockout of the Week, using the term knockout as, because of Impact. And, of course, there will be some Impact people in there also. Sorry, I mentioned our fan. And, yeah, all right. So, where are we getting started, Gary? You want to start with what you're thankful for when it comes to Impact Wrestling and get that positive crap out of the way.
Okay, we're going to start off here. It's no particular order. Just some of the things that past regimes have been able to kind of maintain a steady schedule throughout the year. One of the things I'm thankful for, and I'm sure Jay is too, is the monthly live events that we're able to have, courtesy of like Impact Plus and however you watch it. And it's coupled with the ability to travel to other venues, just to name a few, like Vegas, Florida, Texas, Louisiana, Kentucky, Pennsylvania, New York, Atlanta, and Illinois. And another thing to be thankful for is Scott's ability to bring in a little bit of refreshing talent from time to time with our relationship with promotions such as New Japan, AAA. Sometimes he surprises us with the AEW talent, kind of like with Kazarian.
I was gonna say we usually give crap to AEW, but I mean we got Kazarian from that. Like, where the hell do you think we got Kazarian from?
Oh yeah, and I mean, and to go on, another thing to be thankful for me at least is that Impact is able to make it through the COVID years
Yeah,
without,
definitely. Yep, definitely.
you know, I mean, because look at ROH, they went out of
Yeah,
business this year, and
and
to
then
me, they're dead. I don't know if anybody
yeah,
out there agrees with me, but I know Jay does.
and just so you know, Gary is a or was a hardcore Ring of Honor fan, a real Ring of Honor fan, like a no joke Ring of Honor fan. So
Well, in another reason to be thankful is we got a new action figure line coming out. We'd been kind of experimenting with the action figure uh, prior to this year with micro brawlers. This is an upgrade. This will be probably found in a lot of our bigger stores like Walmart and Target and things of that nature, and that's always a good thing. And then finally, our ability to plug ticket sales. It seems like a lot of our live events have been really killer. Like the attendance seems like it's been up this year. I don't know if you get that vibe, Jay, but the venues always look fully packed. Some are a little louder than others, but I think it's a step in the right direction. And when somebody say it's the Dudley sign guy that's behind all of this, like getting these all out there, like
really,
the notoriety.
oh really?
Yeah, that's what I was reading. I think that's what it said. The Dudley sign guy. That's what they said.
Yeah, I did not know that. And interesting.
That's pretty much my top five or five reasons to be thankful that a lot of things are still in motion. And coupled with that, what was it today was announced by see top rope belts
Oh
that they
yeah.
presented Jordan and Walking Weapon and Heath and Rhino with all new belts. Not not new designs from what I'm seeing. I know it's kind of plugging it like it's new designs. It's pretty much the same way. It's just I think they give them like a much shinier version of it or in their own image.
Yeah, hell of a job, Gary. Really bringing it with the news. Nice work there, dude. Um, sorry, I had something here. Okay, so this is from Cameron, who was at the Overdrive tapings. He mentioned he saw people saying there was like 1,000 tickets. He thought it was closer to 300, 500, something like that. Definitely not 1,000. But I mean, it was all positive from him. He thought he said the crowd was electric for Taurus versus Trey. He mentioned the cheat finish actually got a big pop out of the crowd, which was something me and Gary complained a little about last week. Like, why do it? But hey, I guess it worked there. He said, our assessment was only correct because we thought there was a lot more people there, which I don't know. I mean, I wasn't sure. I'm not. I mean, if I would have guessed, I would have said like 500. So I don't know. And if anyone, I thought this was interesting. The Overdrive broadcast was cut a little bit short because he said there was a very loud fan screaming things like "F you, Bully," and "You're a virgin," and Bully just like stood there and took it like a pro because he said, like the camera was kind of closing, so they
Yeah,
cut it off.
yeah, I had seen something online where they had extended to it. I don't know if they showed it on this past Thursday's Impact, like the extenuation of what went on at the pay per view, because it kind of felt like this might be feeding into the story you're saying, because it kind of felt like this stuff was edited out of the actual pay per view.
Oh, I got you. Okay, yeah, I guess that is what happened. It was taken out of the pay per view, right? No.
Yeah, well, I wonder if it's kind of like a hate message kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like something that the Impact officials maybe didn't find appropriate. Like
Yeah.
it might have gotten even worse than maybe even
Yeah.
a fan had mentioned.
Yeah, might have said like one of the words you just can't really say, or I don't know. Can a fan yell the F word?
I have no idea. I would think with a pay per view that it would be, very likely that you could get away with that, but I don't know. Maybe he said something racial, just because he has ties to Devon, maybe or something. I don't know. Maybe something was made comment about Devon. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I think now you're taking it on kind of a whole nother. Well, whatever. Yeah, maybe that is it. Who knows? So, sorry, lost myself there reading something. We do have Kentucky Chaos spoilers, but we're going to save that for the end, even though this is not going to be too long of a show, because we really don't have too much other than what the hell we went through already. I did want to mention my group. Sorry, I cut it short early there, but we're going to have a weekly knockout of the week, and this week it's Paige Van Zandt, who is featured right now on my JaySin's group of Awesomeness, which, again, terrible name, but I thought it was like a joke, and if anyone has a better one, let me know. That's more fitting. I could also use a, what do you call it, picture on top. But then I would need a name first, so I don't know. But whatever, I kind of want to like bring it all together and, I don't know, kind of talk about the podcast in more of a way that would connect to that or get people from there listening to us, if that makes any sense.
No, it makes total sense. Just a little bit of a note too. There's no ratings talk in this episode tonight because, for one, there's no news on the ratings because it's a off week because of the holiday being Thanksgiving, and then where we get our info, Showbiz Daily, I believe it's called. It's not updated and probably won't be updated much until tomorrow or Tuesday. So pay attention to that in coming episodes.
I would say don't be too excited about that one.
Yeah, me either. Just because what's going into it. I just like to see like how we trend versus like like last year or whatever, just to see if like maybe somebody did tune in just because it was Thanksgiving and really not a lot going on other than football.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm with you with that. I'm just, it was a bad day. What was it? Literally Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't think of it.
Like Impact always fall on that day too, because like we've always pretty much stood to that Thursday. Like it seems like we always have that Thursday night, which is kind of cool in a way, but I just think we need to mix it up in the future. Like just kind of have like a little bit of everything. Like maybe even have an exclusive match that they leave out of the tapings or something. Just kind of give it a little bit of a flair. Kind of no pun intended, but I don't know, just something to keep that viewership at least a little bit.
A Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, it's a weird thing. I mean, I just think the timing really sucked on this because it was coming off of Overdrive.
Oh yeah, definitely. That was rough.
Now it's like a missing kind of week or whatever, and now they're gonna jump back into other things. So it's kind of, I don't know. I want to say it's gonna be like Overdrive didn't happen, but I don't know, kind of like. I mean, whatever. We did our Overdrive review last week. You can check that out. We did a lot of complaining about that, so that's why Gary did his nice thing before. Let me think of what I have nice to say about Impact right now. Usually this is much easier. It's just been a rough few months for me with Honor No More and Honor No More leaving, or not Honor No More. It was really just Taven, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm blowing this out of proportion, especially since I don't like Mike Bennett. To me, that's an addition by subtraction move.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, there's not many people Mike Bennett is like, to me, just like the most basic wrestler maybe ever. You know what I mean? Like just Mr. Basic. But whatever. So I'm sorry, yeah. What am I excited about? What am I happy about? Well, like everything you said from before. I mean, Impact is still around. That's kind of amazing, especially in the atmosphere of WWE and AEW, like dominating everything. I would love to believe they have some genius plan. Maybe they're kind of waiting Tony out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know about every time, like just about like the first of the year, isn't it? When the big promotions. Well, there was just one big promotion at the time, but I know WWE likes to kind of cut ties with a lot of talent too. Just because they don't have a place for them.
Yeah.
And like anybody, you got a budget you got to stick to, whether you're WWE or whoever. You got to kind of trim the fat, if you will. And I don't know. I got a feeling there's a good chance that we could swoop in there and get some talent, like to kick off the early part of next year. I just there's that part of me that's holding out that Impact's got some kind of plan, at least in the first like quarter of next year. Because they almost have to.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get angry or anything, but yeah, I feel like they, not even almost, but they definitely have to. Like they have to, like, I don't want to say spend money because it's not about money. I mean, they've done a good job with singing dude. I always forget his goddamn name.
Oh, Joe Hendry.
Joe Hendry.
That's what I mean. It goes back to like with Scott. I know he gets a lot of flack and whatnot. He's a Jeff Jarrett money mark kind of guy. But the thing is, he's good at what he does though, because he has his hands in like different things that like other promotions might not be like I said, he got Joe Doring. He somehow got Joe Hendry to come out of, I don't know, kind of felt like he was in hiding or something from this, from my standpoint. And I just kind of feel like Scott is kind of like that common denominator when you want talent that's going under the radar. Like it's good to have him on Team Impact.
Yeah, I mean, I've given his booking some crap lately, but yeah, no, I mean, there's so many things I don't know. I say it all the time, like, I try and sound smart, but like there's a world of things like we just can't know. You know what I mean? Like just because of like the situation, the money, everything, like every fan wants like, oh, sign this person, do this, we should do this, we should do this. Like I give my ideas based on what I see and what I think, and I really never give like booking ideas, I complained about the booking last week. I mean, my ideas were always like, hey, do this to try and help sell tickets and do this to try and help promote things. Like, I don't think I'm like a wrestling genius. I think I'm good at like certain weird things that I always wanted to help them with, and they've been doing them better. So I don't know where they got them from. Hopefully, I don't give a shit if it was me or but like you mentioned earlier, like they've been better with selling tickets. So like there's a bunch of little things going on in the background that are really like good, nice to see, even though we're not seeing it in the front.
Well, and the thing is, we're getting little pieces too. Like I told you that they got that guy. I don't know, the Dudley sign guy. I don't know who that is. I'm not familiar with a lot of the indie kind of stuff or whatever is going on. I have no idea. But like little things that they do behind the scenes, like the picking up D'Angeli. And that's a step in the right direction. And I do see signs of like with them redoing the belts, if you will. I don't see any signs of a company that says we're packing it in or selling to the highest bidder.
Yeah, man, God, I hope not. But yeah, no, I agree with you. And yeah, like I said, I give Scott some.
And you don't hear that dreaded story anymore about wrestlers not being paid. That's another. Oh
yeah, that was old.
And it got sickening. It took the fun out of watching the show, hearing reports like that.
Yeah. And if you weren't around if you don't know what he's talking about, this was a weekly thing for Impact. Like, seriously, weekly, right? Like, I don't even.
Yeah, there was a report at one point that the production company wasn't even being paid. And we were on TNA Mecca making jokes about, like, well, they haven't eaten about a week or two. They're probably disgruntled,
Yeah, it's one of those things, like, you just don't notice, like, I don't know. I guess this is a good time for a Thanksgiving episode. Because, you know what I mean? Like, it's like you don't notice good things sometimes, even though, like, I don't know. I mean, not to get into...
I think what it is the bar is set too high this time around. And in the equation, we got a money mark and Tony Khan. And because of that, it's hard for Impact to compete because they're owned by a Sinclair-like business. And the problem is they have a lot of assets, but assets do not equal money. You know what I mean? Like, it's the value of it, but it's not, it's not where they can liquidate it into the company. You know, like it's stuff that they like shares and whatnot. You know.
Yeah, well, now you're talking a little beyond me, and pretty sure you're just trying to make me sound stupid because you're smarter, and that's mean.
No,
Nah,
I just know that's just the way any big $1 billion business would be. You know, it's just
yeah, I'm kidding. I'm
crazy.
just joking. All right. Sorry. What else? Well, I just kind of quickly mentioned the knockouts, who are always awesome.
Oh yeah, they've been amazing. They've been showcasing them a lot more lately, which is a good thing. And I think the week that they weren't they in the main event, I think that was a really high rated episode. So maybe they are sitting back and maybe paying attention to that wow number on is it Viceland or Vice, the Vice channel. I'm wondering if they're maybe kind of going with a knockout. Maybe they're even thinking about playing with a knockout show.
I mean, yeah, that'd be great. Definitely, if they have time for something like that. I mean, no, not time, but if
Maybe
they
like
could,
a
here's,
Saturday evening show.
well, here's the problem, and now I'm gonna have to complain a little bit again more. They don't have the roster,
That's true.
and that just goes back to our whole thing where, yeah, they need a bigger roster, and really,
Yeah, if
the
they
end.
get any thinner, they're going to need Rogaine.
Yeah, yeah, well, that's really it. Like, I would love to see more shows. I'd love to see, you know, titles and stuff. Like, people love all those kind of things, but they're just not in a good position with the roster. They gotta, pad out the roster and then worry about those things. I don't want to hear a damn word about another friggin' title. I swear I'll just tear every fan apart out there. Everyone that I find. Shut up. We have enough titles. Let's worry about, the
Well,
what
did
is
you
it?
hear that recent news about down south, what they're doing now? More piggybacking, if you will?
No, what do they do now?
No, now they want to do their own X Division like show.
Oh, okay.
So,
Not surprising.
I mean,
But
that's going to take up even more X Division stars. So,
I will say, like, that's Impact's thing. And I don't know. I feel like they should have. I don't know the word. They should have made it more their own
yeah.
thing, if that makes sense. Or like I feel like they didn't like put their kind of stamp on it enough.
Well, I just kind of feel like that the Hogan years set us back even further than we realized because like our X division was headed in the right direction. I mean, I will say that the Hogan years, the production was great. I mean, it was the best I think it had looked since probably since ever.
Yeah,
But the problem is like they bastardized everything that made the X division good. They got rid of the six sides. They took away the character of the division, and then along with it, they kind of took away anything that was appealing to the show by bringing in like basically guys that were past their prime or guys that were their right hand man kind of talent.
yeah. And I used to hate when people said. I used to hate when people would say this, but like I don't know, like what exactly is? You know what I mean? Like if you would explain Impact to someone, I don't know. Like where would you start? Like what would you say exactly?
I don't know. I don't. Just the crowds back then were amazing, and it's just like it seemed like when the balance started shifting was like when the crowd stopped showing up, and then we started seeing front row fans using cell phones, and I don't know. I guess it was too much of a good thing for that area of the country, like down south in Florida.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just can't figure out where we went wrong because I mean the product is still to this day been consistent. I mean it always has been. It's just there was a little bit of lull moment when the changing over of the different regimes, but that's going to happen when you got change.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if there's like a. I don't know. I guess my point is, I feel like their identity was more X Division knockouts.
Yeah,
I think that's
most
what
definitely.
I think that's kind of what it should be more.
Yeah, and I think at some point I feel like I feel like we kind of leaned a little bit more to the knockouts than we did the X division, which I think that's my problem with the X division. It's like real. It's even I think it's even more thin in a lot of ways than the main roster because like I mean outside of Trey, Mike Bailey, maybe now Kenny King, maybe one or two others. That's really not a lot for a division. Like back in the early days when they were in the asylum and stuff. I mean, they had guys like Amazing Red, Chris Sabin, like you could and Alex Shelley. I mean, they had Sanjay Dutt. I mean, you could go on all day naming all the high flyers they had, and you had your Samoa Joes, your AJ Styles. You know what I mean? They had everybody, and it just seems like I don't know. We need to get shopping for some new high flyers, and at least in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm with you. You mentioned somebody. Who the hell was it you mentioned last week? This guy you always forget his name. And dude with the red hair, kind of comes in and out.
Oh, Alex Zane.
Oh yeah, that's right. There you go.
Did remember him this week, Jay.
Good job there. See that? Pretty good team. I forget things. He remembers. Well, that's pretty much it. He doesn't forget many things, so it's usually just on my end. And what else do we have here? I guess spoiler time, unless you have. Oh wait, sorry. I just want to quickly make fun of the Jaguars. Well, not even make fun of him, but the Jaguars mascot today was in a USA Speedo, and he was kind of like a laughing stock of like, well, whatever. They did win the game. I don't know if his Speedo helped, but it kind of threw me off. And then I read into this guy, and he's like just a total lunatic that like. I don't know. I guess he says like he's like an edgy character, and it just reading about this guy, I was in tears because he's a more interesting character than anyone in AEW. Like that's just amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. That's what same place as they do Daly's place too, isn't it? Right out of just off the off the football field.
Yeah, I think so. But sorry, what was I going after that? Oh, spoiler time. Unless you have anything else.
Oh, just a reminder: this Friday, Impact Nation on Impact Plus, or however you watch your live events, be sure to tune in and watch Throwback Throwdown 3. I guess it's basically a highlight package type pay-per-view that were from the events of WrestleCade, right, Jay?
That is correct.
Yeah. I think we did that last year too, but I don't remember if that was just an episode of Impact, though. I don't think that was on Impact Plus. So maybe there's some added stuff that didn't make WrestleCade.
I'm confused about. I could have sworn they taped these last year. No, this was taped these last week. You telling me?
That's what I'm gathering, because I don't know if they're trying to just more or less, just kind of keep in the tradition of it. I guess because it's called Throwback Throwdown 3, so which would be.
Did we not see 2?
No, we did. I think I remember watching it. I don't know if it was last December.
Oh, you're right. Okay, no, there wasn't 2.
Yeah, there was some kind of thing that they did. I don't know if that was on.
I could have sworn there was something where we didn't see one of them, but I could be wrong. I could have sworn I saw a picture of Savannah Evans, and she was like the thrill, like from like Thriller, like a Thriller van.
Oh, okay, so that was her. Okay, I couldn't remember who there was,
but I could have sworn that was from last year. So I don't know.
Yeah,
whatever.
maybe they're like continuing the character.
Oh yeah, no, that could also be it.
This year.
No, that's true. I'm pretty sure Jordan's playing the same character, so you're right, and I think I'm totally wrong. But yeah, check it out. We'll be checking it out and probably reviewing it. Right? Actually, maybe we'll do like a double review of the show and that.
Oh yeah, or like incorporate it or whatever, or we could just discuss that and then I'll go kind of like recap the show at least briefly or whatever.
Yeah, All right, we got anything else before spoilers?
No, I've got nothing.
Okay, just a quick reminder that TNI sucks, and that's just the US version. UK guys seem cool. And now to the spoilers from my boy Cameron. Really cool dude. When had a little back and forth, and if he goes to any future things, he's gonna give us some more reports. And he said he would love if Impact returned, and the fans loved. Fans had an actual blast. He said overall super enjoyable. I'd look out for the Josh Alexander title match and Mickey Diana match for sure. Really hoping they come back to Louisville soon. I'll be there for sure. That was the end. But so let me start off. Kentucky Chaos. Everyone, if you don't want spoilers, get the hell out of here now. Get the hell out of here. Goodbye. Okay, so Bully comes out, shits on Josh, saying he won't be here this week. I guess that was from what? They took down Josh at the end of Overdrive?
You mean with Bully coming down?
Yeah, this is how he's saying Kentucky Chaos is starting.
Oh, okay. So like it's the events that it's basically the fallout from Overdrive.
Yeah. So this should be this week or next week. I mean,
Yeah.
some of it may be out of order, which I'm not sure, but I mean, it looks like it's
just by the sounds, like I think I saw something like Josh comes to the ring and says he doesn't want to wait to Hard to Kill or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And he wants a challenge. I guess he wants Bully Ray, but obviously, the heel is not going to answer the face's challenge.
Well, he said Bully came out and shit on Josh Alexander, saying Josh won't be here this week. So maybe they got taken out. Maybe he got taken out like backstage or something. I'm not sure. Whatever.
He might have been. I don't know. I remember seeing something like that in the.
So we got Bully versus Swan. He said it was a solid little match. Went for about 8 minutes. Bully picking up the win, obviously. And, I think he's saying obviously in the way that, because of the way Bully's getting booked, not obviously he should beat Swan. Macklin versus Kaz was very good. Kaz wins. And I don't want to get into the whole thing because we'll be talking for hours, but I don't like Macklin losing. I say it all the time.
I don't like it either, be fair.
Well, if you didn't like that one, get ready for this one. Savannah Evans beat Taya Valkyrie in 10 minutes. And then he wrote, shocked that Savannah won? I mean, want to take that one?
I mean, I don't like it for sure. Just because the talent pool there, Taya is just too. Somebody's coming to get us, Jay.
Oh, that's me. Sorry, gotta run.
The talent pool, Taya has faced them all. Savannah really hasn't really faced anybody, only in an Impact ring, as far as I know. I don't know. I just don't like it, but I kind of see it too, though, because I do know there's more rumors about certain talents possibly leaving, and Taya's come up as possibly being someone that might go join her husband in AEW or go back to Triple H and the folks up north.
Yeah, I hear you.
That'd be my only thinking with it, maybe.
Yeah, no, I thought the same thing, which would suck. And then, okay, Mickey James versus Deonna Purrazzo in the last rodeo. Very good match. Mickey wins. I didn't think she would lose here. She's got to go for a little longer.
Yeah, I totally think that with that too, because like when she defeated Taylor Wilde, that kind of told me that they're going to stick this one even further out, which I thought maybe might possibly be where there might have been some chicanery or something, like maybe a storyline where Mickey did lose to Taylor, and like they kind of made her look like she was a tweener at one point during Overdrive a little bit, because the fans were getting on her. But like then I was like, well, then they give Mickey the win, so I was like, well, there goes that idea.
I hear you.
Impact's been very good about doing that lately. Kind of.
Yeah, like we don't know who's going to win certain matches.
Yeah, it's kind of inconsistent. I mean, it's a good inconsistent.
Oh, sorry. So following the match, Jordan comes out, and it'll be Jordan versus Mickey at Hard to Kill. I got to be honest. I am not loving Hard to Kill at the moment, which is Really odd for me. But Bully in the main event in one, and then Mickey in the other. Ooh, I mean, I love both of them, but I don't see how anyone can get over in any way out of those matches. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, so far out, I mean, I guess we just got to see how the Winter Warfare tapings go as well. Just kind of see where we, because Impact is very good at the long build or semi-long build or even a shorter build. They're pretty good at doing all of those facets of their.
I don't. I personally don't want to see Mickey retire, so I'm thinking maybe she wins the belt and she beats Jordan, which I can, totally
Yeah, I could
understand. I
totally
could,
see that.
I can understand people being pissed, like you got to give it to a younger person. But how about like Masha cost Jordan the win, and then it makes like a psycho Masha Jordan thing while Mickey gets a nice little run there for a while, and new fresh challengers. I don't know. That was a quick thought I had. So there was another
Well, I
match.
mean, you're going to give it the name recognition with the title, so I mean that's going to
Yeah.
bring eyes because you're going to get, I'm sure there are some WWE fans that watch Impact, they just don't want to admit it.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
just going that route would be pretty smart to kick off the new year, just to see uh, who our new challengers will be come the first of the year.
Yeah.
Who
And then
knows?
here.
We might even get somebody that's a free agent or something from AEW or or just somebody on lend, like a uh, what's her name? Maybe a Britt Baker coming over because didn't she just lose the title or something?
Yeah, that'd be cool. Actually, I have no idea what's going on with the title picture over there.
But I mean, there's that option, because like we do have that working relationship, and we got, we still got. Who knows? You might be able to get somebody from AAA. I know Fabi Apache's been. I know she's been defeated by a lot of Impact wrestlers, but she can put on a good match, and who knows? That's a good thing about Impact. You never know what to expect with an Impact show because we get down on them, and then they do something. They could pull something like a multi-year deal with somebody, or that's why I have a decent amount of respect for Scott Demore in the contract aspect because he does such a good job.
Oh, of course. Yeah. And just like you said before, just great at finding the talent that nobody else really knows about, and perfect lead in. It's going to be a short. Well, yeah, these were short. I don't say short tapings. I don't know about that. Quickly got to mention there was a match between Heath and Rhino versus the Motor City Machine Guns, and he said he's pretty sure the Motor City Machine Guns won. People get busy. Give him a goddamn break, everyone. Relax. He didn't get exactly who won. Calm down. So what I was leading towards was Scott having a hell of an eye when it comes to talent. And this is supposedly the match of the year, according to many. Actually, I'll read it here now okay, so Josh issues an open challenge for the title. He says there's only one man he wants to accept it. Bully appears on the Tron and taunts him. Now, this should be cool. I think we're probably going to get a lot of, I mentioned, I think we both did. Bully's a great character. He's going to have a lot of fun with Josh and his family. So he put up a bunch of pictures of his wife and, I guess what he did to his wife or at Overdrive, or maybe after. I'm not sure exactly. I guess we'll find out. So he's swiping through pictures and stuff, really good. And he says really good stuff. But instead of Bully, it ends up being Speedball Mike Bailey versus Josh Alexander for the belt in a 50-minute match. 5-0. This is
And
going to
you
be.
said that this is on this Thursday's back.
Actually, I don't. I think I saw the card, and it's
It'd be the following week.
Yeah, I think this week is Savannah and beats Bully. Oh yeah, this week is Bully. Okay, so this is probably in order. This week is Bully, I think, and then maybe I don't know if I saw the Macklin match. I think I saw the Savannah Kaz match, and whatever.
So they're basically building it up to Winter Warfare, which is a new set.
I think there might be a Trey match in there also, but I'm not sure. But I mean,
Yeah.
Okay, so already they had a 50-minute match. I'm not kidding. It was very solid. Lots of back and forth. The kids in the crowd were losing their shit for Speedball. I mean, that was I don't know. I kind of highlighted that. I thought that was awesome because, like, I don't know. I feel like not many people like worried about young people when it comes to wrestling. Like, I think we all kind of worry about ourselves too much.
Oh yeah. Well, I seen a recent Twitter post. I don't know if you've seen this. It's about some school in the United States that lets their kids in the school watch Impact, and they were showcasing something I want to say with Speedball Mike Bailey,
Wow.
and they were like really digging it. They were doing the chant, "This is awesome."
Well, like I said weeks ago, make him like even more, like make him more of a character, like a Cobra Kai kind of thing. Like Cobra Kai is huge right now. Like that, I'm sure that's why people like him. I guarantee that's the reason people like him. You just see some dude on TV doing like Karate Kid shit, but like with flips involved and stuff. I mean, he's one of the best wrestlers in the world.
Yeah, or why not build them up to be like a Street Fighter like type character? Because gaming is like ridiculously popular, and
Well,
just kind
you
of
gotta
build them up around that kind of stuff.
you got to give it to the guy. I mean, talk about building him up. He's what? He was already the X Division champion for. I mean, he had a really nice run, and he just basically went longer with Josh than anyone.
Oh yeah, I mean,
he probably had the best match against Josh. Then, like if you
well,
go
a lot of us still out there.
Going kayfabe style, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, a lot of us are still questioning too the booking of him losing the title in the in the first place, just because they built him up as like he's going to be this all-time great in the X division, and then like bam, not that wasn't a bad decision to have Kaz, because then we wouldn't have got the Kaz and walk-in weapon match, but just for the fact that I don't know. I just kind of felt like we might see maybe a longest reign ever for an X Division champion the way they built him up.
I've always had a weird kind of thing with the X Division. I don't know. I just feel like because who's the champion on it right now? Jesus,
Trey.
Remember Trey.
Spray paint.
Like I feel like the X Division is like kind of like the Intercontinental, where Trey like could and should be the #1 contender.
Yeah.
That's how it used to be with the Intercontinental title. The IC title was the #1 contender back in the day. I don't know if that's.
No, it totally makes sense because I mean it is very equivalent. I mean, like half the greatness of the world title just because you have that option for option C.
All right, so how about this? I mean, I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. Did Bailey? I mean, I didn't see the match yet, neither did you, obviously. But knowing what everyone, I mean, you've seen like PWI has this is. Like everyone has reported on this match, I think 2 weeks before it's been on air. That's how incredible this match must be. So, do you think putting him against Josh and maybe moving him out of the X Division, and do you think maybe he's heading towards the main event scene quickly? And would that be good, or do you think he should have stayed in the X Division?
At this point, I think he's kind of interchangeable just because he can go with the heavyweights. But then again, we're like I said, we're kind of losing a lot of the X Division stars, so it's kind of a sticky situation in terms of what to do with him exactly because he can. What did he do? He went toe to toe with Moxley recently too, maybe like 3-4 months ago, and
he's probably the top guy on the Indies right now.
Oh yeah,
or one of them. I mean, top draws, top. I mean, he's on top of. Literally on top of every Indie card, like the main event guy. But
what I'm surprised about is how much of a fan base he has going. Because like when we grew up watching them kind of wrestlers, they were liked, but a lot of people thought, "Well, look, he's the pretty boy. I don't like him."
Yeah,
that kind of thing, and they would always, go against the high flyer, or they'd like the guy that was more powerful.
I really think it's the karate. I really do.
It could be getting a dose of Cobra Kai, like was it on Netflix?
Yeah, I mean, I know it's probably more than that, but like I really think it's a really big part of it. Like there's just not like how many, and it's also like just a different kind of character. Like how many wrestlers are wrestlers? You know what I mean? And then you see a karate dude, like, oh, let me check this guy out. And then you actually watch him, and he's like, oh my god, he just did this insane,
Well, I don't know about you, but back in the day when WCW, I always liked the character of Glacier.
Oh yeah, no, me too.
kind of had that Mortal Kombat Sub-Zero look to them. And then they'd have the snowflakes coming down. It just was really cool. If maybe they could book him, like maybe do some kind of entrance kind of thing like that, like a face mask kind of thing, or I don't know, something cool, something, get selling some things in the Impact store,
I still like the idea of Glacier, even though he kind of failed, like,
yeah,
because nobody could have ever possibly lived up to, I don't know what it was, like 8 months of promos. Like, I remember, like, when I got to the end, I was like, come on, man, like, he has to fly. You know what I mean? Like, you can't you can't promote someone for that long, like, unless they can do something like outer worldly. Like, it was too much. But then, like, I was thinking about it, and it was so much fun, like, just thinking about it, though. You know what I mean? Like, I would like to see so much. I'd like to see more of that. Like, don't, like, I don't know. Usually now it's like, what will we get? 2 weeks maybe before someone comes. Like, I think it was Jesus, I forget her name. Killer Kelly maybe was the last one. We got we got vignettes for like a week or two.
Oh yeah, well, I mean that was the crazy thing that people used to put down WCW, saying they had all these weird characters, and I don't know, it made it fun for me. And
Yeah,
I think of Impact,
memorable. People get the word
yeah.
weird mixed up with memorable, I think.
Well, I think if Impact were to go outside the box and kind of like make more character-driven type wrestlers, I think that might be the secret to getting on the path to getting us more viewership on Access.
I mean, I think you got to get a luchador.
Oh
You know what
yeah.
I mean? You sell those masks to kids. I
Oh
feel like
shit.
that's.
Yeah. I mean, like
I
Ray
feel like
Mysterio.
that's. I feel like that's such easy money. I mean, Laredo Kid. I don't know. He's not the one that got hurt, right?
No, Laredo did get hurt, but I
Oh,
guess
he is
he's
shit.
recovering, and he sounds like he's on his way back. I don't know if he'll be coming back to an Impact ring, but definitely back to
Man,
some kind of ring.
that's another thing, though. Maybe they can kind of straighten out these deals and make them make more sense. Like, Laredo Kid goes out. Why can't we get somebody else? Like, what the hell is that deal? Why can't we get that awesome guy? I forget his name. They got this friggin' oh man, I forget. Dude in AAA. He's like kind of like I forget his name. Cool hair, cool short hair. Just maybe the sickest wrestler in the goddamn world right now.
Vikingo?
Oh yeah, Vikingo. Oh my god, you would want to
Oh
see that
yeah,
guy.
great.
Like, we can't get him for a while. What the hell?
Well, the thing is, it's something to do with work visa, and I thought I heard him say that he got that figured out, but then I heard a negative thing, something about AEW is trying to make a play for him, I guess, via the Young Bucks or
What a shock.
so.
Well, that's actually good timing, Gary, because we're gonna need to end this show, and I'm gonna have to deal with a very sad announcement. You know this already, but none of the fans do. Gary recently signed a 15-year deal and is now all elite, like everyone else in the world. So, everyone say goodbye to Gary. Wish him well. He'll be living on a yacht now somewhere, hanging out with beautiful eight. Oh no, actually, no, I don't want to bash any women, but he'll be hanging out with the beautiful women like Britt Baker and I don't know, probably like two other ones they got over there. I'm not sure exactly. It's kind of a terrible division, but no, Gary's not going anywhere. Just kidding. Just playing on the whole. That bastard will sign anyone, and I would not be surprised if he actually did sign Gary one day. Like,
Yeah.
wouldn't it be funny if you started going to like podcast? He got DQ.
Well, I sort of reached out to Vince Russo about our podcast, but he didn't say anything. So,
well, F him then. Don't worry. We'll have more viewers than him soon. Russo. I mean, I mean, I like Russo, but whatever. We should save that for a whole another episode. We should just do a whole episode on Russo. Honestly, like, I feel like I watched Life and Death, the Rise and Fall of WCW last night. So.
Oh, you did watch that?
Yeah, I mean, like for like the 18th time, and like I go so.
I mean, it's sad but cool at the same time.
Oh, exactly. It's like it's so interesting. It's like I've watched it so many times, and it's always so goddamn interesting. Like everything that happened, and like I always forget that Bischoff like had it at the end. Like,
Oh yeah.
you remember that? I totally forgot that. He showed up on TV and he said, like, this is it. Like, I got WCW now. He did a sit-down interview, like, about the future and how everything was going to go. And then he was
Oh
like,
well, I had heard that they like
it was
offered
actually
it.
it was on Nitro. Like, he said the deal was done. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and then he got the deal, and they said, you can have everything you want, but you can't have this time slot. And he's like, what the hell is WCW without, television?
Yeah.
Which,
Well, I wonder if Vince might have had some.
Yeah, but then he was like, it became, without television, it became, a $20 billion industry. It went down to like, 1,000% less than it was, and then he's like, we didn't want anything to do with it. We had nowhere to put it, so Vince popped in, and that was it.
Well, with how cheap it was too, was the sad part.
Oh, yeah, imagine you imagine
Vince,
peanuts. Like, can you imagine? Like, not only did that bastard win, but like he got it for nothing. God, it's just.
Yeah, it's disheartening because I mean, I think Eric Bischoff would have did a. Maybe people out there disagree with me, but I think he could have. I know it would have still been still in fruition, and I do know that it probably would have did. It would have been a successful company, and who knows if there would have even been a TNA.
Yeah, there's so many questions. It's interesting. I mean, yeah, we could do a whole goddamn shit on.
Because a lot of people's myth or theory is that Impact rose from WC's ashes.
Yeah. And then AEW rose from ROH's ashes and kind of started, I don't know, kicking Impact in the balls a little. I don't know, man.
Yeah, they've been haven't been making it easier, that's for sure.
But also, it's like we have a relationship with them, so it's like it's such a
weird thing is Scott's more than fine with it.
That's what I mean. So it's like I give Scott a shit sometimes, and it's like, but that's the reason. You know what I mean? Like I think he's good at everything, but like I don't know if there's something shady going on or what. You know what I mean?
Because you don't think you think
something doesn't fit.
Yeah, like he's playing a little too nice, knowing that.
Yeah, maybe.
Kind of like, we're way back here in third place.
That's what I mean. I think Tony kind of loves that. Like, yeah, you can have my scraps. His, I don't give a shit about. He doesn't give a shit about Kazarian. Tony, he doesn't. Like, it's not a big loss for him to give us Kazarian.
I kind of feel like we're off. Do you feel like we're kind of like an off-brand of AEW in a way? I'm
starting to, and I hate it. Yes.
That's what it feels like.
Like that's what pretty much. That you're pretty much nailing, or not yet, but I feel like it's going that way. And I'm afraid
maybe let us be owned by Anthem, but yet,
I'm afraid it might be a situation like with ECW when Vince was like secretly owning them and nobody knew until like 10 years later or something. But I don't know. Again, we have no idea. We're just, speculating here at the end of a long podcast that we should be ending. Because I got some people to yell at on DraftKings.
And we're getting an awful high-scoring NFL game while we're doing this.
And Gary's making me miss freaking football game. All right, everyone. We had a good time. It went a little long. Sorry about that. We'll catch you next week when we have some, actual wrestling to talk about again.
And be sure to catch, what is it this week? It's the Throwdown 3.
Oh, yeah. Should be fun. I'm actually interested now, and I totally forgot about it. I was looking for it this weekend, then I was pissed off because I thought it was coming on Friday night.
Thanks.
Then I thought it was coming on Saturday night. So I will leave by giving them a little more crap with, maybe kind of have a little schedule somewhere or something. Because, I mean, I know fans, I had a few people asking me, like, what the hell? Do you have a link for the show? Like, I can't find that on Impact Plus. And I'm like, and I don't think you were around, so I was totally confused.
Well, I'm too busy. I'm too busy booking that for us over in the UK and Wembley.
Oh, God. I mean, look at, I don't even want to think about it. I get, I'm afraid it's an impossible dream at this point. But God, I would love to see it back there.
Yeah, me too.
And that's it. It's Thanksgiving time, and we can dream. So let's dream for Wembley. That's it, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Have a good night.